Hi there, Kim's here. This is my template. I made it out of a little piece of MDF. And I used it to lay out these things. I got 9 more exactly like this one. So the template ensured that they are all the same. So what am I using those things for? Well, I decided to make myself a wooden chain for the sign, since I didn't have the rope that I wanted. I've made a wooden chain before. Last time I used the router to do most of the work. I decided to try out the scroll saw this time. So it's just a matter of removing whatever is not supposed to be there. So just saw along the line and that's all there is to it. Here I'm just showing you in real time how long it takes to saw out one of these chain links, just so you have an idea about the time span of this project. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of guys out there that would be able to do this in half the time that I am, but I can't help it. This is the best I can do. I take it you'll find it boring to sit here and watch me saw out all of these chain links in real time, so let's speed it up a little bit. One thing is for sure though, this way to do it is definitely not faster than using the router for it. After all of the chain links are sawn out, it's time to move on to the sander. you don't have to go overboard with the sanding. It's just that any imperfection there is in the saw cuts will be enhanced by the router at the next stage. I found that it was easier to remove the start and stop of the saw cut with a file. Here I'm sanding one of the rings that is used for connecting the chain to the sign. I don't have any video of making those, but what I did was that I took a pair of compasses and just draw them out directly on the wood. I really need a new cameraman. So now we are ready to round over the edges. We will do that on the router. I just made this little quick setup jig for my router. But the thing is that if you're not used to using a router, I would recommend that you build yourself a proper jig, because there is a good possibility that this thing will bite your fingers. The biggest mistake you can do here is if you actually believe that you'll be able to hold the wood if the bit grabs it, because you can't. The trick is to hold it loosely so that if the bit grabs the wood, it'll just throw it away and you won't put your fingers into the router bit. There is this guy here on YouTube. His name is Steve Ramsey. He has a channel called Woodworking for Mere Mortals. He has a video about how to make a proper jig for making chain links, and I will put a link for that in the description of this video. So if you're not comfortable using the router the way that I am here, go make the real jig and do it safely, okay? I was just too lazy to bother with the making of the real jig. So don't do like I do here, just do it the right way. You won't get extra credit for hurting yourself. But let's speed up things a little bit because this thing takes way too long. Way too long. And these are the rings that my cameraman forgot to record anything about how they were made. Unfortunately, that's not all. The next step, he didn't record any of that either. I really need a new cameraman. Maybe I should just fire him. What? Oh, I'm the cameraman. I can't fire myself. Maybe I'll just have to learn how to push the button. Anyway, the part there's missing is how I burned these chain links. Now I'm brushing them, just like shou-sugi-ban burnt wood technique. And this is how they look. Just give them a good scrubbing. After you've given them a good scrub, just go over them with an old rag. Just make sure that it's an old rag because it's really gonna get dirty. It might be a quite messy finish to apply, but to be quite honest, I really love how it turns out. It's so gorgeous. And now all we have to do is put the chain links together to form the chain. For that we're gonna need a little bit of wood glue, some elastic bands, rubber bands, and a knife. And here you see another example of the cameraman sleeping on the job again. Some of the chain is already assembled and there is no footage. It's just a matter of laying out the chain here. You need to try and avoid to twist the chain. It doesn't look right if you twist the chain. It's just a matter of making sure that you have the right amount of link. To get the best result, try and break the links along the grain lines so that you can hide where you're gluing them back together. Just start it off with a knife and then break it the rest, and it will have a really nice break that will be easily concealed. So when you are putting these links back together, make sure to use plenty of glue because you do want a little squeeze out. It's better to use too much glue than not enough. Just wipe off any excess glue. Make sure that your alignment is correct. And here the rubber band come into play. It's almost impossible to clamp these things together with normal clamps, so rubber bands actually do a pretty good job. And again, make sure to cut along the grain, break it off, and take another link, a good amount of glue, it can be a little tricky to align them perfect, but just wipe off the excess, align them good, put on a rubber band and move on to the next one. And again, make sure that they are not twisted, that you have the right amount, and so on. It is a good idea to make sure to have a couple of extra links, because they might break in a way that you can't glue them back together nicely. Now one final check to make sure that it is put together the right way. Now all there's left to do is wait for the glue to dry, so a little coffee break. And that's it. I hope this was useful. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, share, you know. Can you guys have a nice day. Bye.